Hello! So I said that I was going to make a video where I talk about my opinions of Season 3 of Amphibia so far, but I don't really want to do that anymore, so I'll just quickly, in like one sentence, say how I feel about Amphibia Season 3 so far. Okay, so I used to not like it because I wanted it to have, I wanted Anne to be more sad and react to everything that happened in True Colors a bit more, and I still feel that way. In general, Season 3, I have decided that I do really like Season 3, and there was a good balance of plot and a good balance of just, not plot, because it's also the first half of the season, so, there can be time for a plot in the second half and stuff, and there was still plot, Olivia and Yunnan and Turning Point, I'm looking at you, those are very important episodes. Anyway, so yeah, I do like Season 3, I've decided. My only critique is that I feel like it was a little bit too calm after True Colors, because so much happened in True Colors, it's just weird to go back to Complete Slice of Life right after. It's like, Anne, girl, you good? You shouldn't be good right now. But, yeah, she's hiding stuff. She's, hiding her emotions deep down and stuff, and it will come back later, and she will be sad about it, I'm sure, because otherwise, Amphibia knows what they're doing when it comes to, making us want to cry. Once again, looking at Olivia and Yunnan and Turning Point. But, so yeah, I trust that it will get better. And, okay, now that I've talked about that, now I've decided that I just want to make a video talking about what I think's gonna happen next, because Amphibia is actually coming back super soon, and you'll see from when I, signed this picture that I did it a while ago. I did it on, New Year's. So, it's been a while. And I've been procrastinating because I do that with everything. I did that with my last video talking about Season 3. But anyway, things get out of the way. First off, the audio sounds different because I'm actually, recording the audio in a different way. I don't have a microphone or anything like that. I'm not fancy. I don't have any of that. But so yeah, I am recording with something, different, though. I'm doing it, on, a different editing program thing. I'm just doing it differently, so it's gonna sound different. I don't know if it necessarily sounds better or whatever, but yeah. And also, quickly talking about the picture, I just made, a little Darcy comic, because, oh my gosh, okay, drawing Darcy is so much fun. But, yeah, and also I'm just really excited to see more interactions between Darcy and King Andreas, because I am in the picture, it's a weird comic. I don't know what the format is. I don't know what I was thinking. But, I want to see Darcy, mess with King Andreas like that, and, rub it in his face constantly that she's in Marcy's body. And, I want her to do that with, Anne and Sasha, too, and, rub it in their face. Remind them and be ha, remember, it's Marcy in here, wow, I'm Marcy. And I want her to, torture them. No, but, so yeah, that's the picture. And now I can actually talk about what I want to happen in Season 3 now. Okay, so first off, the big thing going around that people are talking about is Anne's gonna lose an arm and Sasha's gonna lose an eye, and at first I was like, okay, where did this come from? But then I, saw the foreshadowing, and I, rewatched Amphibia, and I actually, saw the foreshadowing, face to face, and then, I thought about it, and, holy crap, I think that it is gonna happen. I am pretty confident. Okay, so, because, in, Season 1 and Season 2, something I noticed is, of course, there's, a lot of foreshadowing about Anne losing her arm, but, and then Season 3 comes along, and it's less foreshadowing about that she is going to lose her arm, and it's more foreshadowing about, how, which, is a sign that it's coming closer. In, Season 1 and Season 2, you have the Grub Hog episode, and almost loses her arm because they were gonna, cut the grub hog open. And then you have, her breaking her arm, and you just have, little foreshadowing things like that, saying, okay, so she is gonna lose her arm. But then you go to Season 3, and then you have Cloakbot's arm getting cut off by the guillotine, and you just have more foreshadowing about how it could happen, and saying that, her powers don't feel right, and stuff like that. And I think that I think that what's going to happen is, like, these are really common things that people think are going to happen. But I think that Anne is going to lose her arm, and I think she's going to lose it by using her powers in some way. I don't know if it's just going to be, like, an overload of powers or what. Probably. That's probably what it's going to be, or something like that. Like, she's going to lose her arm because of her powers. And going beyond that, in Spider Sprig, how... I don't even know his name. Weird old man. Sidewalk security? Weird old man sidewalk security. He, like, gets, like, Cloakbot's arm and, like, puts it on, right? And then he has, like, that as an arm. And I think that Anne's gonna end up having, like, a quote-unquote, like, prosthetic arm that is Cloakbot's other arm, because Cloakbot lost his other arm with the guillotine. He's lost both of his arms, and that arm is still out there somewhere, so I think that that arm is going to become Anne's new arm when she loses an arm. And in extension also, if she parts ways with the Planters because they have to destroy the music box, which I will get into in a moment, then the Planters could actually gift her that arm. I know that's a weird gift, but, like, I think that maybe, like, just a possibility of what could happen is Dr. Jan found the arm because it was in the museum, and then her and the Planters end up working together to, like, fix it up, and then they give it to Anne as, like, a prosthetic arm, as a parting gift, and it's all sad and motivational and all that. And also, I think that Sasha's also going to lose an eye, and I think that maybe something interesting that could happen is maybe she loses an eye. Like, I think that Darcy is going to be responsible for it. Maybe? I don't know. And maybe Sasha does it, like, defending Anne or something, and that's when Anne is like, okay, so she is actually serious about, like, changing herself and how she, like, truly cares about me, because I feel like it's going to be really hard for Anne to forgive Sasha, and I think that's going to be, like, a whole arc. And kind of going along with that, now that we know some of the new episode titles, specifically Commander Anne and Spivey, and how in Commander Anne, Anne's gonna be the new leader of, like, the Warwood Resistance. And I was over here like, wait a minute, wasn't Sasha doing that? And also you have Spivey, where it said Sprig and Ivy devise a plan to be together, and I'm like, wait, can they not be together? Why do they have to have a plan? And I'm like, is this Romeo and Juliet? What? And I was really confused. But then I started thinking about it, and I have seen... First I have one idea, and then another idea that connects everything nicely. It'll make sense in a moment. But this will be fun eventually, guys, trust me. If you know the reference, which if you watch Amphibia, then you probably know the reference. Good job. And I'm not the only person that has thought about how... when Sasha shows up, Anne's gonna be, like, really angry at... when Anne shows up, she's gonna be really angry at Sasha. And, like, be like, yo, you can't lead the resistance. You are a bad person. You can't do this. You're not good for the job. And she could straight up, like, kick Sasha out. Okay, because, like, I've seen, like, theories that, like, are kind of similar to this. I don't know. I've seen, like, stuff that's kind of similar. But... she could, like, kick Sasha and Grime out, and then Sasha and Grime could maybe find out about Darcy once they're, like, kicked out, which is an interesting idea. Or an idea that I came up with myself, because I'm amazing, yes. So Anne could show up and be angry at Sasha and be like, yeah, you can't lead the resistance or whatever. And then Warwood could maybe get split up, and one team is, like, Team Sasha and, like, supporting Sasha leading them, and the other side is, like, Team Anne supporting Anne, and Sprig and Ivy could be on different sides, and that's why they have, like, a Romeo and Juliet thing going on, and the episode could be a parody of Romeo and Juliet. And something else that would be really cool about that idea if it did happen is Civil Wart could all have been foreshadowing for that, and we didn't even know it. Wow, gasp, oh my goodness gracious. I have a lot more stuff to say about ideas and stuff that's going on in my brain about Season 3, but I think I'm going to end talking about Marcy for a little bit. So, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of her interacting with the other members of the Corps. You know, like, that idea of, like, her, like, being in some place where the other members are too, and her interacting with them because the Corps is made up of multiple, like, souls or whatever. I don't really like that idea. I don't know. For some reason, I just love when characters are, like, tortured. That's, like, literally this whole video. But me just talking about me wanting all of them to be tortured. But, I want her to, like, I don't know, be alone or something. I don't know, because... she's in a different situation than all the other members of the Corps are, because she's literally the Corps' vessel. It's a different situation. So, like, I want something different to happen to her. I don't know. I want it to be sad. My, like, weird goal, it's not even a goal because, like, I'm not even controlling it, but I want the rest of Amphibia to make me cry in one way or another. I just really like when shows and stuff hit you hard enough that it makes you cry. That just shows such good writing, and I feel like Amphibia is definitely capable of making me really cry, especially with all the setup and everything. But also, another thing that I've seen going around is people saying that maybe Marcy will end up in a wheelchair, and, like, okay, she doesn't necessarily need to end up in a wheelchair, but she doesn't necessarily have to, like, officially die or anything like that either. I just really want there to be consequences for her getting stabbed, because I don't want her to just, like, get stabbed, go into the revival tank, and just be fine afterwards, you know? Like, I want there to be some sort of consequence, like, she can't walk and she needs a wheelchair, and, like, once she got out of the revival thing, like, she couldn't walk. So that's also an idea that I think would be cool if it happened. But I feel like if Anne loses an arm, Sasha loses an eye, and Marcy needs to be in a wheelchair, that's a lot. So if they do all of that, then they need to, like, do it in a proper way so it doesn't feel like too much injury. But yeah, I want there to be some sort of consequence. I promise I love Marcy. I promise I love these characters. But yeah, okay, I know I said that Marcy was the last thing I was going to talk about, and I do need to end this video, because I'm already because I'm actually doing, like, a voiceover over the video instead of just, like, the audio and the video separate and then putting them together like I did with the Marcy and Terry video. Fun fact, I actually know that it's the picture now that I'm showing. So really fast, I do want to talk about my theory of how Amphibia will end, and I talked about it a little bit a minute ago. I do think that the Planters and Anne are gonna, like, all of them are gonna have to destroy the music box, and Anne and the Planters are gonna have to part ways, and I will cry. But, like, I think that that's gonna happen. But my only problem with that is if Terry and the Planters are able to build a portal and get back to Amphibia that way, then destroying the music box shouldn't really be super sad, because Anne would still be able to get to Amphibia somehow, which, like, that really confuses me, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do want a bittersweet ending. Like, I want the ending to be sweet. I want all three of the girls to be on good terms again and be friends again and stuff like that, and be better people because of Amphibia and stuff, but I do want Anne and the Planters to have to part ways, and I want it to be bittersweet, because I love bittersweet endings. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about, because I don't want to ramble for ages like I did with the Marcy and Terry video, and I don't want to, like, repeat myself and stuff like that. But there you go. That's the video. I am so excited for season 3, and I hope that it makes me cry, because that shows good storytelling. And I do love these characters, and I love Amphibia, and I just want it to touch me, because then it's good storytelling and it's good writing. All right, have a good day. Good.